Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I want to give you a couple of tips that have helped me with the Pharaoh shuffle, and then I'm going to talk briefly about the Penelope principle and Marlo's automatic placement, okay? So, with the Pharaoh shuffle, the first thing you have to practice is cutting the cards exactly at 26 and 26. I don't really have any good tips for this. You just have to practice cutting the cards, being able to look at the packets and be able to tell when you've got 26 in each half, okay? I would advise you to just take 30, 45 minutes, just practice that, count the packet, and see if you got 26. And over time, you're going to be able to look at that, and you're going to tell if you're off, okay, by one, or if you're dead on. Now, once you get better at that, then you can start doing the Pharaoh check. So the Pharaoh check is when you actually take the two packets, you Pharaoh them together, one into the other, and make sure that it's perfect. Here I can see it's perfect. So now I know I've got 26 in each hand. Okay, so anytime you're doing a card trick where you have to split the deck exactly into 26 and 26, or maybe you need to know what the 26th card is, like for the Penelope principle that I'm going to show you, this is a great way to do it. It's called a Pharaoh check. I just Pharaoh the cards together and I see, yep, they're perfect. So it's 26 and 26, okay? Now my tip, the best tip I got ever on the Pharaoh shuffle was from Derek Dingle. I think it was in his book, Dingle's Deceptions, was to take my pinky and put it on the end of the pack. So now I can touch the two packets to my pinky, and then I can use the pinky to control how much pressure, kind of like a fulcrum, I guess, how much pressure is being applied into the corner of the packets as I go to start the Pharaoh shuffle. Okay, this is important. The other thing that's important is the packets are going to want to be tilted upward slightly. You're going to slightly tilt them upward. You don't want them to be flat into each other because I Pharaoh from the top down. So the top of the packets down to the bottom is how I Pharaoh shuffle the cards. All right, so I'm going to turn to the side here so that you can kind of see. I always tap the packets together. I use my index finger to press down, and if I see air between the cards here, I will touch the packets to each other. I'll just touch them and kind of press in with my thumb to make sure there's no air in between the cards. My left pinky is now going to be used as a fulcrum to control the angle that the packets come together, and I'm going to slightly lift the packets upward so that I can get to the first card, the top of the pack. Okay, so if I were to do a Pharaoh check, I'm going to start the Pharaoh. This happens to be an N, but I can see that it's perfect, and it's an N because the top card of the deck went into the second position. It's not going out into the first position. It's going in to the second position. But that's perfect all the way through, so I know I have 26 and 26, okay? If I were to do an out Pharaoh, then this top card, the Ace of Spades, would go into the first position. So a perfect out Pharaoh would be like this. I would take the cards. There it goes into the first position. It goes out into position one, and then I can Pharaoh shuffle and cascade the cards. Okay? Those are the main tips from me. Just try to practice cutting at 26, 26. Tap them together. You may have to push them together. Get all the air out. Move the left pinky below the packet. I've got my pinky down here on this to kind of help keep the cards from getting pushed out at the bottom. You don't want them to get pushed out at the bottom. And then use that left pinky as the fulcrum. And once you get it going, you'll notice that they just very nicely go right in between each other. Okay? Now, some cards are traditional cut, some are modern cut, and that changes whether or not they shuffle with a Pharaoh better from the backs of the cards or face up. So some will Pharaoh better face down. Some are going to Pharaoh better face up. Traditionally, bicycle cards out of the box are going to Pharaoh better face up. And then a lot of your Theory 11 decks and stuff like that are going to Pharaoh better if they're face down. And that has to do with when the cards are at the printer and the blades cut through them. If they cut through the cards face down, or do they face up when the blade goes through? And I'm not exactly sure how that works, but whichever way the cards are facing, that determines which way they Pharaoh more easily. Okay, so that's the Pharaoh check. Now, one thing I think that's very helpful is Marlo's incomplete Pharaoh control. All right, so you've worked on the Pharaoh, just spend an hour or two working on the cut and trying to be perfect. But here's a nice little thing you can do. This is called Marlo's incomplete pharaoh, and it's going to control a selection to the 26th position. So you're going to cut to 26, 26. You're going to start a pharaoh, push the packets together about an inch, and then hold it in your left hand. So now I can take my right index finger and I can riffle through the out-jogged packet, and I can say, if you would, just say stop as I riffle through. They can say stop wherever they want. Let's say they stop there on the 4 of spades, okay? I now take my right thumb and I contact this upper packet and I put a little pressure on the top of the packet, and I kind of lift, and it opens up the packet at the bottom. So what I'm going to do here at the bottom is get a left pinky break at the position where they said stop. So the card's the 4 of spades. I'm just going to lift up with my thumb to get my pinky in there. Now I can strip out the out-jogged portion, place it on top. The whole time I'm maintaining that break with my pinky. And then if I cut to the break, it's now going to control the card they peeked at. It doesn't matter which one. It could be any card as you riffle through into the 26th position. So if we count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26 would be the 4 of spades. You've controlled it to the 26th position. That's Marlo's incomplete pharaoh control, okay? So once again, really quickly, you're going to split the cards at 26 and 26. You're going to do a perfect pharaoh. This is an out pharaoh where the top card stays at position 1, okay? Riffle through, they say stop. Here, you get a break, strip them out, cut to the break, you've controlled it to 26, okay? Now, 26th position is important if you're going to use Penelope's principle, right? Another way that you could control a card to the 26th position would be if you have a card selected, let's say it's the King of Diamonds, if you were to put it into, let's say, the 13th position. So if I had 12 cards, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I added 12 cards on top of the King of Diamonds. If I now do a perfect in pharaoh, where the top card goes in to the deck into the 2nd position instead of on top. So here you can see the top card is going down into position 2. It's going to move that King of Diamonds, which was at 13, to the 26th position. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26. There, the King of Diamonds is now at 26, okay? Another way to get it there is if you've got a card on top and you add, let's say you put it in the 14th position. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I've added 13 cards on top of it. So the King of Diamonds is now at position 14. I could now do what's known as a straddle pharaoh, where I might take about a third of the cards, just make sure I get more than 14. And now I can pharaoh them. I'm going to turn sideways again. I can pharaoh them into this larger block. So now I still use the pinky as the fulcrum, but if I take this, I can now push them into the larger block. I can see they're going in perfectly. So they pharaohed perfectly into the larger block, and now I can pull them out. So I'm just going to strip out the packet. Okay, and now if I were to cascade, this would go to position 27. So what I would do here is I would peel the top card from the out-jogged portion off with my fingers, come back on top, and then cascade. And that's going to remove one card, which will now put that King of Diamonds to 26 using a straddle pharaoh, peeling one card. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26. There it is at 26. The other thing you could do it from a face-up version. If I put this card 14th from the face, so if I add 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, I put 13 cards on top of the King of Diamonds. I could now do a straddle pharaoh from the face of the pack, which is now going to place it 27th from the face, but 27th from the face is going to be 26 from the top. So I do a straddle pharaoh from the face of the packet, cascade the cards. So now it's 27 from the face, but it's also 26 now from the top down. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, and there it is, 26th from the top. Okay, so the whole point is you either want to know what the 26th card is because you're going to predict it, or you're going to get a selection into the 26th position. So let's just say in this case, we're going to predict, or let's just say it's a selection. So it's the King of Diamonds is at 26. So you did the Marlo incomplete pharaoh control. You now have the selection at 26. Penelope's principle is this. If they now cut a big packet of cards, like 2/3 of the cards, they're going to leave themselves a small packet, like less than 20. You could also turn the packet face up and have them just cut 1/3 of the cards and give you 2/3. Either way, it's the same thing. They're taking a packet off the bottom. Doesn't matter which, okay? So what you do now is you say, go ahead and shuffle your cards, and I'm going to shuffle my cards. So what I will do is now I'm going to do a perfect out pharaoh from a face-up standpoint. Not face down, but face up. So this Queen of Spades, which is on the bottom of the packet, it's going to go out into the first position from a face-up standpoint. So there, the Queen of Spades is on top. Now, it doesn't have to be perfect all the way through the top. Here, you can see I have a chunk of cards which aren't being pharaohed into anything. It just has to be perfect. If they have a packet of 14 cards, it just has to be perfect 14 cards down from the top through the bottom. But at the top of the pack, it doesn't matter, okay, for the Penelope principle to work. So here, a face-up packet, out pharaoh, I cascade and shuffle off. I've now put their selection, the King of Diamonds, from a face-down position at the number that they cut. It's automatic. It's Alex Elmsley's Penelope principle. So they shuffle this packet. They count their cards to get a secret number. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 is their secret number. I know the selection is at position 14. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. There's the King of Diamonds at the 14th position. It's automatic, okay? So now you could do like a card at a number, all right? The other thing you could do here, if the King of Diamonds was a prediction and not a selection, you could automatically go right into Ed Marlo's automatic placement. So because you know the card you're predicting, which was at 26 when you started the trick, is going to be at their secret number, you could say, you have a secret number, right? I want you to remember the card at your number. So they would count 1, 2, 3, 4. You would count these for them. This is card 5, card 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. When you get to their number, it's going to be the card that you predicted. Like you could write on a sheet of paper, you will select the King of Diamonds. Okay, and then you could also say, and it will be in the 32nd position, right? So when you get to 14, if you go all the way to 20, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Do you have a card? They're going to say yes. You take the packet, you did not reverse the order of these cards, and you put them on the bottom. The King of Diamonds is now in the 32nd position, okay? So if you were to take their cards back, just make sure you put them on the bottom so it stays at the 32nd position. It's automatic. It's Marlo's automatic placement. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31. Here's 32. That's the King of Diamonds, okay? It's automatic. If you were to move 21 cards to the bottom instead of 20, it would move it up a card. So instead of position 32, it would be at 31. If you were to move 22 cards to the bottom, it would move up to 30. Okay, so I hope you get the idea. That's the automatic placement. The other way the automatic placement is done, oftentimes, is they will pick, you'll have them pick a small packet of cards. They're going to count them and get a secret number. So 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. In this case, you would say, just remember the card at your number, and you would say, this is card 1, this is 2. Here you're going to reverse count the cards. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. This is 11. This is the one they would remember because that was the secret number of cards they cut, which is the 10 of hearts. 12, 13, 14, 15. Have you got a card? If you stop at 15 by picking up the packet, putting it on top, and putting their packet on top of everything, it's going to automatically place the card they looked at into the 16th position because it's going to be however many cards you deal to the table plus one more. So I dealt 15 plus 1 is 16. So now the 10 of hearts will be in the 16th position. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. There it is, the 10 of hearts. Okay, so that's Marlo's automatic placement. You can deal them face down and then put them on top and put their packet on top, or you can not reverse the order, count to whatever number you want to count to and move them to the bottom, put their packet on the bottom, and you can control it to, in that 25 to 35 range very, very easily, okay? And then if you do it from the top of the pack, if you're counting 15 or 20 cards, you're controlling it to 16th. Or if you count 20 cards, you're controlling it to the 21st position, etc. Right? So that's Marlo's automatic placement, Alex Elmsley's Penelope principle, with a few tips from me on the Pharaoh shuffle. I hope that helped some of you guys out that maybe had an interest in that, or you're looking for more information on the Pharaoh, Penelope, or Marlo's automatic placement. Hope you guys liked that video. Till next time, guys, take care.